Hi, and welcome to S for Science. And the tip of this pencil is made of carbon. Carbon is the same chemical element that forms diamonds, besides being the second most abundant in your body. Diamonds are, without a doubt, spectacular gemstones. They are the hardest natural material that exists, in addition to being the most thermoconductive. There are diamonds of different colors, and that is because some acquire some impurities that make them have another color. But the pure diamond is always transparent. This is an exact replica of the Cullinan, the great star of Africa, the largest diamond ever found. It weighed 600 grams and had such a high value that it had to be broken into pieces. The largest is in the scepter with cross of the British monarchy, and the second largest in the imperial state crown. It can be visited in the Tower of London. But how is it possible that the tip of a pencil and a diamond are made of the same thing? This is called allotropy, and it's the property of some chemical elements of presenting diverse chemical structures. That means that even though they are made of the same thing, they present very different properties. A diamond is harder than graphite, which is what the tip of a pencil is made of, because its atoms have a much more compact structure. Graphite instead forms layers, which makes it ideal to be used for pencils. In fact, every time you write something, you're leaving a thin layer of carbon atoms on the paper. Currently, there are many known variants of carbon. Some have even been designed by man, such as fullerenes that have the shape of a soccer ball. If many of these come together, they form these beautiful crystals. Another form is carbine, which is the strongest material that exists, or carbon nanotubes, that despite being very small are very resistant. And it's the first material known to humanity capable of sustaining independently its own weight suspended over our planet. Said like this, it may sound strange and you might not see why it's such a big deal. But with carbon nanotubes, you can make spectacular space elevator projects that maybe not very long in the future, it may become a reality. These elevators will represent an incredible advancement in the transport of space goods, since the incredible costs involved on raising a certain load using the current rockets won't have to be taken into account. But let's not go up that much. Well, maybe yes. A lot had to go up the frogs that in 1981 fell over Greece as if they were rain. These frogs had been absorbed by a tornado in a swamp of Africa, and the wind carried them to Greece. And yes, they fell just like if they were rain. In 1996, the inhabitants of a small town in Tasmania were sleeping when they began to hear a very strange noise above their roofs. When they went out, they saw that it was falling mud from the sky, and their roofs were covered in a thick layer of mud. In 2007, in the Argentine province of Salta, it rained something that may make you feel more disgusted than mud. Spiders of about 10 centimeters of diameter. And not much later, something similar happened in Brazil, and we see that it's a more normal phenomenon than we thought. In 1881, in England, they had a huge storm. It rained a lot, hail fell, and also many thunders could be heard. But there was something else. The storm was of such dimensions that it had sucked a part of the water of the ocean, and suddenly it started to rain shellfish. In 2005, a 200-kilo ball fell on a factory in Brazil. It is believed to have formed in the vortex of a thunderstorm. In 1876, in Kentucky, in the United States, in a very sunny day, there was not a single cloud, but suddenly it started raining meat. People didn't understand what was happening, but some who tried it said that it tasted like lamb and cow. The scientific explanation of this phenomenon was that there was a group of vultures with full bellies that had just eaten, that encountered an eagle, and that scared them when it approached to them and they vomited from fright. As the food that they had just eaten fell, it produced a rain of meat. And in 1976, in Lemberg, Germany, it rained some bills from an unknown origin. And what about diamonds? Unfortunately, it has never rained diamonds, at least as far as we know, despite the Earth having a very dynamic atmosphere. As you have just seen, there could always be someone who got on a plane and started throwing diamonds. But I don't think that will happen. But let's go take a trip through the other planets of the solar system. Let's go first to our neighbor planet, Mars. This planet that we've heard about so many times has a little problem. Its atmosphere is very thin. And in fact, the atmospheric pressure is only 8 hectopascals, which compared to the 1013 that we have on average on Earth, are nothing. This means that there are almost no meteorological phenomena, but some do occur. There is, for example, a slight wind capable of creating the characteristic dunes that have been photographed by the rovers that NASA sent. This wind can sometimes create long-lasting dust storms that carry particles from the Martian soil to the atmosphere and gives it this characteristic orange color. And sometimes clouds of water vapor and CO2 can be formed. Yes, CO2, that gas that we all exhale, can form clouds on Mars given the low temperature that the planet has. Let's travel to another planet because on Mars we will not find what we're looking for. Let's go to Venus. This planet has the longest day in the solar system. Nothing more than 243 Earth days. It has a very unique atmosphere. It is extremely dense, which causes the surface pressure to be 92 atmospheres, similar to that of 1,000 meters below sea level on Earth, and the surface temperature is 463 degrees. In addition, this atmosphere is very toxic since it is made up of 96% carbon dioxide, which is what contributes to the extreme greenhouse effect that makes it have such high temperatures. It also contains sulfur dioxide, a gas very toxic and corrosive, and it is also known that there are powerful electrical storms and that the sun never shines directly to the surface, so it's impossible to photograph the surface of the planet from space. These extreme conditions on the surface of Venus makes it unthinkable that any human being can simply walk around there. And don't think that machines can resist more. Of the many probes that we have sent to Venus, there are a few that have managed to reach the surface in a functional way. But once there, they didn't resist more than 2 hours. That's the record. However, this atmosphere is so dense that if we humans could walk around in a more or less free way, maybe with a suit that could resist the pressure, simply with some wings on our arms, we could fly without need of a motor. This photo that you're seeing now is the first photo from Venus. It's also the first one that was sent from the surface of another planet. This other one that you see was the first photo that was sent from Venus in color. It doesn't show much, but a hard basalt floor can be seen in addition to that dense atmosphere. And that is why Venus, despite looking so much like the Earth in terms of size, has really nothing to do with our planet. Let's travel now to Titan, the largest moon of Saturn. Titan has a dense but cold atmosphere that is at the incredible temperature of -179.5 degrees. It is composed mainly of nitrogen, an innocuous gas, but it has a high concentration of methane, a hydrocarbon that, thanks to the fact that the temperature on this satellite is so low, it can be on liquid form. What causes in Titan oil rains. What happens in Titan is really amazing. However, we have not yet found what we're looking for. Then where does this spectacular phenomenon of diamond rains occur? We are now on the surface of Triton, the largest satellite of Neptune, the furthest planet in the solar system. This giant and beautiful icy planet hides a wonder of nature under its dense atmosphere. Simulations have been carried out in laboratories that indicate that it's very likely that there is an ocean of liquid diamonds, with icebergs of gigantic solid diamonds floating. This seems unthinkable, but it's very likely that it's the case. Something similar happens in Uranus. In both planets we can find liquid diamonds. However, we still have not answered our question. Can it rain diamonds? Let's go back to Saturn. Considered by many the most beautiful planet of all. With its archaic majesty and its splendid golden rings, it hides in its large and dense atmosphere of hydrogen diamond rains that occur every day thanks to the high pressures that exists on the planet. On Saturn, diamonds of approximately 1 centimeter of diameter fall that can end up melting in the deepest areas of the planet. That can end up raining just as if they were raindrops. It is estimated that 10 million tons of diamonds are produced. Yes, 10 million, which is 10 billion kilos every year. It is fascinating to think that this meteorological phenomena occur daily with us hardly even being aware of it. And who knows, maybe one day there will be diamond collectors working on this amazing, beautiful planet. And that's it for the video. I hope you liked it, and if you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe if it's the first time that you come to S for Science, and also share the video. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.